Alright guys, welcome to another Chess World episode. We have a brilliant tactical and strategic match from 1971 Candidates Tournament. It's Fischer versus Larsen. So stick around to see if you can play like and sack like Bobby Fischer. Okay, and if you like the content, don't forget to subscribe to YouTube. Let's go straight into it. Let's go. And the first move of the match is e4, e6. A French defense is on the board. In French defense, white will typically have a strong center, and black will try to undermine it later in the game. We have d4, d5, knight c3, bishop b4, pinning the knight. This is known as whenever variation. We have e5, Fischer grabs space in the center. Knight to e7, a3, challenging the bishop, making him decide to capture or break the pin. And he decides to capture. Fischer now enjoys strategic advantage of having two bishops. Of course, he recaptures. We have c5. Black is trying to chirp away of white's strong center. We have a4, gaining space on the queen side. Maybe later white bishop can come to b5 and opening. And this move is also opening a3 f8 diagonal for black bishop. We have knight to c6, putting pressure on d4 pawn. Knight to f3, defending the pawn. Bishop d7, preparing to castle. Now we have bishop d3. Fischer is taking this nice diagonal and maybe preparing Greek gift sacrifice if black is to castle at the moment. So queen c7. Larsen is keeping both side castling option on the board. We have castles. With this move and c4. And c4, and with this move black is saying that he will allow white strong center just to keep white's bishop away from currently strongest diagonal in the game. So bishop drops back. We have f6. Larsen undermines the center, and this is very dangerous because black's king is still in the center. So we have rook e1, x-raying black's king. Knight to g6. Bishop to a3. Now, this dark square bishop does not allow black's king to castle anymore on the king side. We have f takes c5, d takes c5, knight takes c5, knight takes c5, knight takes knight, and queen to d4, centralizing the queen and pressuring the knight. We have knight drops back to g6, and bishop h5, pinning the knight to the king. King to f7, defending, and engine here suggests maybe long castling and hanging g8 pawn. Black can maybe later get some activity with moves like rook to g8. But we have f4, rook to e8, and we have f5. Fischer is opening the position while black king is in the center. E takes f5, queen takes d5 with check, king to f6, bishop to f3, and now knight to e5, centralizing the knight. Fischer pins the knight, and king goes to g6. And now, in this position, we have a great tactic that Fischer found. You can try to find it yourself. Stop the video if you need to. I will give you a few moments. And the move is rook takes e5. Rook takes e5. Now, remembering this move is removing the defender of the bishop, and rook can take rook because black's bishop will come to d6 and intercept the queen's guarding of the rook, so the rook will hang. Because of this reason, black has to take with the queen, and now white takes bishop, and now Fischer's got 2 pieces for a rook, and not any pieces. It's a pair of bishops that are very good because they cover both square complexes. And engine says this is equal, but it's really hard to play this for a human. So we have rook a to d8, chasing away the queen and getting on the d file with tempo. Queen takes b7. Queen e3 check. King to f1, because if king goes to h1, Queen can sack, and the rook will deliver back rank mate on e1. For this reason, we have rook to d2. Rook is infiltrating to 7th rank. Queen to c6 check. Queen check. Rook blocks. Bishop to c5. This seems like a blunder because Larsen can get Fischer's queen. But actually, it's a really good move because white is trading down into the winning endgame. Okay, let's see what will happen. We have rook check. King drops back. We have rook takes the g2 check, double check. Rook takes on king takes on g2. King takes rook. We have now queen escapes the bishop scope with d2 check, and king drops back to h1. Rook takes queen, and bishop takes rook. And now, according to the engine, this is a draw, but for black, it's very hard to hold this against 3 pieces. Just a queen against 3 pieces, it will be very hard. So we have queen takes c3, attacking the rook. Rook goes to g1 with a check. King to f6. Bishop takes a7. Now we have g5, and we can notice in this position that Fischer's bishops are covering his king very well, and we have a rook that is also defending back rank, and black's queen can't get into position to check white king. So we have bishop b6, and queen takes c2. Now a pawn is ready to march. We have a5, queen to b2, bishop d8 check, king e6, a6, pawn is getting close to the promotion. We have queen a3, keeping an eye on a c1 promotion square and on the a pawn. Bishop b7, defending the pawn. Queen to c5, covering a7 square, not giving the pawn green light to march. We have rook to b1, c3, and the other pawn is also moving. And now we have the winning move that won Fischer the match. And the move is bishop to b6. Brilliant move, intercepting the black's queen that is guarding the a7 square, and practically all squares to the promotion are covered, and there is nothing to be done here for black. So in this position, Larsen resigned the game. It was very nice tactical game. Later, Fischer sacked the queen. Albeit he sacked the queen for the 3 pieces, and he shown that 3 pieces are better than a queen in an endgame. Although engine was giving the draw, but it's very hard for human to hold this. So I hope you enjoyed this game, and see you next time, guys. And don't forget to like the content, subscribe. Bye bye.